An old monk's allotted lifespan had already ended, yet he remained in the mortal world, living freely. Upon learning of this, King Yama was furious and ordered the Yaksha under his command. Go quickly. Why? And bring back the old monk Jin Bifeng. The Yaksha immediately went to the ancient temple where Jin Bifeng resided. There, he saw the Chan master Jin Bifeng under a ginkgo tree, having entered deep meditation for 7 days. His withered body seemed almost fused with the tree's pristine roots. Strangely, dew had condensed into beads on his shoulders, yet they never slid off, as if time had stood still around him. Seeing this eerie scene, the Yaksha hastily threw his soul-binding chain. However, the chain passed through the old monk's body as if through empty space, meeting no resistance. The Yaksha then took out his soul-reflecting mirror, but the mirror only showed a sky filled with radiant light. Jin Bifeng's 3 souls and 7 spirits were no longer within the 5 elements. The Yaksha then searched inside and outside the meditation hall for a full 2 hours, even counting the ants in the cracks of the walls, but found no trace of Jin Bifeng's soul. As the deadline for Hai's task drew nearer, the 3rd urgent summons from the Netherworld Palace had already been burned. Go ask the local deity for help, the Yaksha suddenly thought to himself. He then went to the local deity's temple and called out a few times. The local deity emerged from a mouse hole beneath the incense table, brushing the ash off his sleeves, and said, Jin Bifeng? 20 years ago, he could cross rivers with his physical body. 30 years ago, he could go without food for 7 days. As for now, the old local deity mysteriously lowered his voice. His consciousness can already roam the OS, traversing the 3 realms as if walking on level ground. Hearing this, the Yaksha scratched his head in frustration and said, What should I do then? If I can't capture him, I won't be able to complete my task. The local deity squinted his eyes and pointed toward an inconspicuous sandalwood cabinet in the corner of the meditation hall. See that cabinet with 7 locks? Inside is the purple gold bowl bestowed by the emperor. That is his only attachment. Speaking of this purple gold bowl, there is a story of cause and effect behind it. When Jin Bifeng became a monk at the age of 7, his hometown was suffering from a severe drought. Holding a chipped pottery bowl, he begged along the streets for 3 days without receiving a single grain of rice. Finally, an old beggar on the verge of starvation took half a dry cake from his tattered bag and placed it in the bowl. Little master, the old beggar said weakly, if you become a great monk in the future, do not forget us wretched souls. These words became the first lamp on Jin Bifeng's path of cultivation, guiding him through 60 years of cold and heat. He traveled far and wide, enlightening all beings, until one year, during a flood, he saved the emperor, who was traveling incognito. The emperor, overjoyed, bestowed upon him the purple gold alms bowl, a tribute from the western regions. This bowl was truly extraordinary. Crafted from purple gold mined deep within the snow-capped mountains, it had been blessed by 3 eminent monks who recited sutras over it for 81 days. The bowl was engraved with the entire text of the benevolent Dharma, and when filled with pure water, the scriptures would float in the air. Even ordinary vegetarian food, when placed in it, would transform into ambrosia. The old monk regarded it as his very life. Before each meditation session, he would personally lock the bowl inside a 7-layered cabinet and set up a protective barrier around it. Once, a young novice accidentally touched the cabinet door while cleaning and was thrown back 3 feet by a golden light. The local earth god shook his head and sighed, such an object has bound this eminent monk. If you wish to capture Jin Bifeng, you must start with this purple gold alms bowl. Hearing this, the Yaksha instantly appeared before the cabinet. He attempted to transform into a wisp of smoke and slip through the keyhole, but was blocked by the barrier. Just as he was at a loss, a strange wind suddenly blew in through the window, opening a small pane at the very top. The afternoon sunlight happened to shine directly into the keyhole of the 7th lock, which was polished from crystal. The light pierced through, melting a small hole in the barrier. As if by divine will, the Yaksha transformed into a gentle breeze and seized the opportunity to slip inside. The interior of the cabinet was a world of its own. The purple gold alms bowl rested on brocade, surrounded by fresh fruits, and an incense burner filled with high-quality sandalwood perfumed the air. Clear evidence of the old monk's reverence for the bowl, which far surpassed his attachment to ordinary objects. The Yaksha swiftly took the bowl and struck it 3 times. At the first clear ring, like a stone dropped into a deep pool, a certain consciousness in the void stirred slightly. At the second echo, like spring thunder awakening hibernating insects, a faint sense of attachment began to take shape. Before the third ring had faded, a clear cry suddenly came from beneath the ginkgo tree. "Who is touching my purple gold alms bowl?" Jin Bifeng abruptly opened his eyes, his figure shooting like lightning toward the meditation room. But just as his fingertips were about to touch the bowl, a soul-binding chain wrapped around his wrist. Apologies for the offense," the Yaksha said, bowing respectfully. "It is only because your soul is too elusive that I resorted to such measures." The old monk was gazing intently at the purple gold bowl when, within it, reflections of his 60 years of spiritual practice emerged, the young novice holding a broken bowl, the wandering monk Savon. People during a flood, the hands trembling slightly while receiving an imperial gift.
So it was.
Jin Bifeng suddenly chuckled softly and said, "This old monk thought he had transcended, but it seems he is still ensnared by attachments." He gently stroked the bowl, his eyes flickering with a myriad of emotions, which eventually dissolved into a long sigh. "Allow this old monk to bid farewell to tea." "His object," he said, as chains were brought forth and pine wood was lit. He reverently carried the purple gold bowl to the stone table in the courtyard. The setting sun cast a brilliant golden glow, enveloping the bowl in a radiant sheen. "We have been companions for 20 years," he whispered to the bowl. "I regarded you as a tool for cultivation, wiping you clean daily, free from dust. Yet, it turns out the dust was not on you, but within my heart." As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly raised the bowl overhead and, to the shock of the Yaksha, hurled it in a dazzling arc onto the blue stone pavement. With a thunderous crash, the purple gold bowl shattered into thousands of pieces. Miraculously, each fragment transformed into a purple gold lotus flower, dancing and swirling throughout the courtyard. Without even glancing at the fluttering lotuses, the old monk turned and sat cross-legged under the ginkgo tree. This time, his form began to grow translucent, gradually merging into a golden light that dissolved into the void. Seeing this, the Yaksha hastily cast a soul-catching net, but the net drooped weakly in midair, unable to capture any tangible form. From the void, an ethereal chant echoed. "If one wishes to seize Jin Bifeng, unless iron chains can bind the void, should the void ever be bound, then come again for Jin Bifeng." Hearing this, the Yaksha stood bewildered, utterly at a loss. The story of Jin Bifeng and the purple gold bowl teaches us that the truest shackles are often the things we cherish the most. The deepest pitfalls in spiritual practice lie precisely in those beautiful attachments. Cultivation is not a distant endeavor. It resides in the thoughts and intentions of this very moment. Every awareness of attachment, every sense of liberation upon letting go, is genuine progress. There is no need to wait until the end of life to feel regret. Right now, you can ask yourself, what is my purple gold bowl? What is it that binds me and keeps me from freedom? When you begin to reflect inward in this way, the shattering of Jin Bifeng's bowl has already resonated within your heart. And those 满天飞舞的不碎金莲, the unbreakable golden curtains dancing in the air, are the most beautiful blossoming of a liberated mind in this earthly realm.